Ay, ay, ay.
Vanessa, get off my back. Vanessa, get off my back.
After the flag swearing ceremony, 395 police auxiliaries will reinforce security in the Department of Antioquia. The auxiliaries will join the prevention and coexistence tasks in the different municipalities. They received instruction in 13 fundamental subjects for their performance, including human rights, security law and citizen coexistence, and crime prevention issues, which allows them to be fully prepared to assume community service responsibly. 279 of these new auxiliaries will join the Metropolitan Police of the Abra Valley, and among them are 220 women and 11 young people from indigenous communities. They include young people from different regions and populations, including Afro-descendants and indigenous people, who with their vocation, discipline, and sense of belonging will contribute to citizen security and coexistence. Finally, the police extended the invitation for more young people to join and integrate the public force.
If you haven't exercised.
So as we can see, there has been some changes towards the police force. Positive changes as in they will be a stronger presence in Medellin and specifically in those tourist areas. Because Antigua, don't butcher me if I pronounced it wrong, is the tourist areas. It's primarily where a lot of the tourists that decide to visit Medellin lay their head. It's primarily where a lot of the tourists that visit Medellin decide to party and eat and enjoy the greatness of that particular country. So I think they are making strides in the right direction. Because if you look at it from a country standpoint, right? A touristic standpoint, as a whole, when a tourist comes to Colombia and there's an issue that hurts tourism. I'm going to repeat that again. When a tourist comes to Colombia and there's an issue that hurts tourism. So of course, this particular country, Colombia, as we speak, is not out here, one, promoting violence. They're doing an excellent job of curbing violence, a great job at that. I will give them that. There's always arrest of people that are committing crime and all sorts of acts in Colombia. And listen, out of all of the police forces in South America that are proactive in deterring crime, organized crime, and gangs, quote unquote, I have to give my head up to my I have to take my head off and salute to the Colombian police force, right? I have to. But back to the point, when they are being proactive in deterring, stopping, and minimizing crime, it helps the tourism, right? Because every time a tourist gets hurt or drugs or whatever allegedly happens because they found a 2 or 3 or 4 on a corner of the street that no one else talked to, and that woman did them dirty. Every time there's an issue in regards to crime in Colombia, that hurts tourism. Because I've talked to a lot of people, and I've seen a lot of people on different social media platforms talking about, I'm not going to Colombia by myself, right? If I go to Colombia, I need someone to go with me. Who's trying to go with me to Colombia? People online, oh, I'm in Colombia. Who's trying to meet up? Let's hang out. Listen, that comes from people watching this nonsense on the news. That comes from people watching this nonsense on social media, right? But to give you all a sense of security, a sense of safety, a sense of stability, a sense of you can go and travel to Colombia without having to bring your homeboy or some dude you met on the internet with you. Now you know. Colombia is taking this serious. Colombia is taking this serious. Now, with that being said, does police stop criminals? I call that a deterrent, right? I call that a deterrent because a lot of these countries, right, you get caught up with something, no matter what the crime may be, you're facing some time, right? It's not like you can just get probation You're gonna get house arrest. You can get an ankle monitor. You're gonna do 30 days and get out and go on about your merry way and have 5 years probation, right? A lot of these countries do not play about crime, right? They do not play. You might get lost in the system for years and no one knows where you're at. That's how serious a lot of these countries play about crime. And I feel like I'm trying to be neutral here, but I think that's good. Because indirectly, when there's a crime, right? Indirectly, when there's a crime, it hurts everyone. It hurts everyone. It hurts the person that was affected. It hurts tourism, right? It hurts businesses. It hurts the hotel. It hurts the Airbnb, right? Because a lot of these guys are saying, "Hey, man, I was at this hotel. This happened." With us being in this social media age, right? With us being in this social media age, when there is an issue, people take out their phones. People take out their cameras. People start recording. Before there's an issue, people are always, if you just walk around the street, right, you're going to see someone recording, especially in tourist places. Listen, if you walk down any street in Colombia near the park, right, or those outskirt streets where the restaurants at and subway and those back streets, right, there's always someone recording, especially at night, right? There's always someone recording. So I would call the police presence, one, a deterrent, because no one wants to go do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 years. It's a deterrent. But two, most importantly, right, you have to understand something. You have to understand something. And that's criminals are going to always be criminals, right? And we've seen this in the US and various other countries. People are doing stuff in broad daylight, committing crimes in broad daylight on 4K camera. Criminals are going to always be criminals. And a lot of the quote unquote hardcore criminals do not care. They don't care about the crime. They don't care about the punishment. They don't care about going to jail. And we've seen this throughout the existence of our lifespan. People doing stuff in broad daylight, knowing there's cameras everywhere. So does it deter crime, what the police are doing? Yes, it deters it. Does it stop it? No, it doesn't stop it. Does the police in your city stop it? Does the police in Chicago and New York and Georgia and North Carolina and Virginia and Texas, does the police on these local PDs or these local sheriff departments stop crime because they're there, they're driving around, they have a presence? No, but it deters crime. And I salute Colombia for taking the first step in deterring crime, right? Because let's be honest, when I was in Colombia and I was walking around the park, a few years ago, right? Let's be honest, guys and gals. If there's 20 cops at the park, right, you can just go to the top of Gusto, look on the roof, go to the little rooftop balcony. If you see 20 cops walk, if you can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those two, if you can see 20 cops, you're going to think twice about the next decision that you make. Because no matter what criminals think, no one wants to get caught. And I salute the heavy presence. So what does that say, right? And people say, "Oh man, you talking to be talking." Listen, I love the Dominican Republic, and I always say in all of my videos, that the Dominican Republic is my favorite country in the whole wide world, right? It is. It will always be my favorite country in the whole wide world. I'm sorry, this girl from Brazil messaged me on WhatsApp. The Dominican Republic will always be my favorite country in the whole wide world. But what am I going at, right? Glad you asked. This is what Sosua should have done. All right, let me repeat that again. This is what Sosua should have done. Yeah, if you're walking through Sosua, you may see a couple cops here and there. You may see a truck posted here, 2 or 3 cops. But you can walk around Sosua for 45 minutes. You can walk around Sosua for an hour and 45 minutes and not see 10 police. You can go to the park across from Gusto's and count more than 10 police in the first 10 minutes. So what Colombia is doing is what the people in Sosúa should have done, right? It's going to curb violence. There has been incidents in Sosúa. It's probably not as common, but every now and then there's an incident. But here's the thing. Here's the problem that I have with how Sosúa handled what they did, right? One, they should have took notes from Colombia. Let's say a woman's walking down the street, right? She's out at night. She just wants to go have a few drinks with her friends, have a good time. She gets picked up by the police, right? All she want to do is go on Sosúa, have a good time, go to the bar, have a few drinks, have something to eat. Not every woman that's in Sosúa is selling, right? I've met a woman there that lived there, right? She grew up in Sosúa, right? That was her home. Her mother stayed in Sosúa, right? Her family stayed in Sosúa. Not every woman that is in Sosúa is selling. Maybe 95%. Maybe there's a great number, right? Maybe I'm gonna be nice. Maybe there's 90, 85%. There's a great number of women that are in Sosúa selling. But there's also a small proportion of those that are in Sosúa that live there, that grew up there, that have regular lives, that went to school there, that have friends there. They played at the park there, went to the pool there. So I almost feel like it's mass punishment, right? So now the people that lived there, were born there, was born in the hospital in Sosúa. Now the people that were born in Sosúa, they're scared to go out at night because they don't want to be labeled someone that is a woman of the night. They don't want to be labeled with these other groups of women that are in Sosúa for the other reasons. How do you know if a woman's selling or not if she's out at night, right? In the Dominican Republic, right? I know this is about Colombia. The Dominican Republic has a problem with, what's the word I'm looking for? People from Haiti, right? Just like in America, we're trying to keep Mexicans and stuff across the border, and illegal Mexicans. We got ICE and all these other organizations trying to deter crime, right? This is no news. Trying to deter crime in America. That is how Dominicans feel about Haitians. You can get online and see 100 videos of Dominican police, and they out there, their camcorders and cameras recording interactions with people that are suspected to be Haitians. And like I said in another video, if you're dark and you're walking down the street and DR, they think you're Haitian. And there's a 99.9% chance that the police are going to stop you if they see you. But what the Dominican Republic should have done that Colombia is doing is they should have had, one, a greater police presence. Two, here listen to me. I don't have a problem, and I've never been stopped by the police besides in Thailand to show my license, right, which I didn't have, which I paid a bribe, and I ain't said paid a bribe, paid the ticket, came back, got back on my motorbike without no license and drove off, which is ridiculous. But anyway, I digress. I don't have a problem with my strategy for the Dominican Republic, Sosúa specifically. Increase the police presence and randomly ask people, hey, where's your ID? Give me a copy of your passport. Let me see a passport stamp. Let me see something, right? Because, listen, as much as there are some attractive Haitians in Sosúa, right? And I've seen some, and I was actually going to meet someone, right? And I came across this Haitian woman. We was talking, and she almost made me second guess going to meet who I was going to meet. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was walking down the street. I was supposed to meet someone near this ATM machine, right? This ATM machine on the left side, right? It's a security guard, big bank, right? I was supposed to meet someone down there, and I was walking towards that direction. I ran into this Haitian woman. She started talking to me, and we exchanged numbers. And in my mind, I'm like, man, I need to take this Haitian with me, and the heck with the other woman. But there are some Haitians that are in the Dominican Republic illegally, right? There are, right? And I don't have any problem with our country runs their country, right? I do feel that there are ways to enter a country legally, and I am in no way, shape, fashion, or form promoting illegal entry to a country, right? So I don't have a problem with the DR, the Dominicans, the police, the policia going after illegals, Haitian or not. But there's just a way to do it. And the streets of Sosúa, I was looking at this girl's WhatsApp story. The streets of Sosúa are dead. And as I said, and I'm not going to keep repeating, it hurts the businesses, it hurts the families, it hurts the economy. Because they're not making any money. These restaurants aren't making any money. So I just wish that Colombia could give the Dominican politicians some guidance, some advice, some suggestions on how to, one, safely run the city where everyone can still go out and have fun. Everyone can still go out and have a good time. Because if you take away the working women that are in Sosúa, there's still men that there's men that go out there and drink beer all night and sit at the bar. There's men that go out and drink beer all night and sit at the bar. What are they going to do now? And I'm going to talk about this in my Sosúa video. What are they going to do now? I just hate the way Sosúa handled this. And I love the way Colombia is handling making sure that they're continuing to boost the economy and making sure that they're keeping these tourists safe. Because guess what? Colombia is continuing to make money. People are still going to Colombia. The restaurants are making money, the bars, the clubs, quote unquote. The businesses are making money in Colombia and they're thriving and the citizens are happy. The Colombians are happy, right? They're bringing in all this money a month. Then look at the DR. The DR's like, man, shoot, bring these tourists back. Bring these tourists back. So that's the latest Colombian news. All y'all people that like to go, here, whatever makes you feel safe. All the people that like to go and travel in packs to Colombia, won't go to Colombia alone, scared to do all these scary tourists, as I call them, all these scary tourists. Now you know that they have a safety blanket. Now that you know that Medellin has put some enforcements out there. Now you know when you're walking around at night and you're drunk or you're intoxicated off of whatever it is that you consume, now you know that you can feel safe. And salute to the Colombian government, the police, for putting this together. Well, you scary tourists, y'all gonna be good.